Yes.
But there's another part that you need to deal with. I'm like, God, what do you mean? And he's like, you need to deal with the man. I'm like, Njani. And he's like, you need to understand, Uguti, and that, yeah, you need to understand, Uguti, these men do not wake up and decide to be these types of people.
Yes.
That stems from something, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm like, okay, and what's it got to do with me? She's like, but you experienced it. You done been experienced it with more than one person. And knowing the backgrounds of these people, you are one person that, and also has reached a point where you've forgiven them. You know for a fact, Uguti, they were probably hurting more than you. And that was their way of letting
out
this out.
Yeah.
And you just happen to be the nearest person to them. And that's the case with gender-based violence. I mean, I'm not condoning Uguti, men must abuse women.
Yeah,
it's wrong
but it comes from somewhere.
But it doesn't, there's no person that wakes up and decides, Uguti, it's their way of letting out whatever it is that is inside of them that is stopping them from being vulnerable. There's a trauma that they went through that they are trying to deal with ngendlela yabo, and being masculine beings, their natural impulse or reaction to things is violence.
It's violence.
Ngobani, because growing up they were told in Dotaikali, you need to be the strong person in the family. You need to, you can't be vulnerable. What are you doing being vulnerable? So it's important, Ukuti, ube strong, ube indoda. So that automatically registers as, okay, well then, because being strong, if uzoyikhela phezulu, being strong is associated with, amandla and violence.
Physical.
And how do they show banamandla? By being violent,
by being
right?
violent. Yeah.
So all of this stems from somewhere.
Yeah.
So God was like, now we need to create an environment where these men can be allowed the space to be vulnerable. So many men go through sexual abuse, as well, but they can't. They can't talk about how much that traumatized them because
they won't even say they won't even say anything about it.
What do you mean? What you are abused? You're the man. Someone had sex with you. You're the man. That means you are window. Meanwhile, the psychological effects of that are huge.
Yeah.
And we don't ask these questions. We are just seeing a monster. Rightfully so as well. We're just seeing a monster. And the important thing to understand is that monster did not come from nowhere.
Yeah.
It stems from somewhere.
It comes from somewhere.
Get to the conversations where we speak about that and speak to the boy child as well.